Well, it's been a lovely Friday here. We got some of the horses out round the village this morning, as some of you might have seen on the live, and I've got a few clips of that in today's video, as well as some other usual random clips. But most excitingly, I've got you a bit of an update on what's going on with the Hoitze Jubbers house. We see all the new lights that have gone in, and Aiden was here from Quattro to talk about getting those amazing dog bone pavers down, which is going to make all the difference to Hoitze and any arthritic horses in years to come. It's the birthday girl. It's little Skinny Innie. And she's had her first night free reining. I think she spent most of the time with Hidda, because we know that she likes the boys, probably more than the girls. And she's got extra carrots and apples and Thunderbolts treats in her breakfast this morning. Little in, eh? And we'll try and get you out today, maybe for a little bit of a ride and lead, or just a walk, or just some groundwork. But you've got a beautiful day for your birthday, and I'm sure everyone will send you lots of wonderful birthday wishes. 15 today, and a permanent resident of the sanctuary family. Little Princey's having a day out in the orchard with Hoitze and of course little Jubbers, who didn't want to miss out. We were just going to put Prince and Hoitze down here, but of course Jubbers had to follow. This is what Inne does. She goes into a deep sleep standing up. Inne, just lie down. It would be so much easier.
She just doesn't want to lie down, isn't it?
Yeah. Because you don't see her doing this out in the field. Everyone's snoozing out here. but everyone else is on 4 legs. Dale, why are you pulling faces? Why are you pulling faces today? Little Skinny in after her sleep. We've been doing a bit of groundwork in the arena. Meanwhile, Jodie's up the top there with her supervisors. With little Pepper. She's been doing some flag work with her. Just getting her to stretch down. Try and work those tummy muscles a little bit. What a good girl. Oh, and Inne's very relaxed again. She's such a willing girl, aren't you, darling? Hey? Always wanting to learn. Yes, Inne's kind of lost her freedom privileges now. She's clearly been talking to Prince yesterday because she thought venturing into the feed room would be a good idea. And it's not a good idea, Inne. No matter what Prince tells you, it's not a good idea. You had your apple after you worked. You didn't need to go back and help yourself to more. Here's little Skinny Innie. She's heard that somebody's here for her birthday. Hey, Inne. Look who's here. Look who's here. You've got visitors for your birthday. Oh, look, Inne. Look. Inne, that's your quilt. She wants to come and say hello to you instead. Yeah. Oh, she's thirsty now.
So there we go. What's going on?
Annie, what do you think? Hey?
No, it's not a new
It's
set.
very beautiful, isn't it? Oh.
Nice. I still got to make a coloured one for you.
Let's show you some of the work that Ryan and Toby have been doing in the Hoitze Jubbers house. Making sure all the cables are safe and neatly tucked away. For all the light fittings. And the solarium. So they've got their own fuse box up there. There's the controls for the solarium. We're going to put a little sink in here as well, which is going to go on this side. There's sockets down there, but they've done a very neat, tidy job. So we've got some outside sockets there, a light, and then for the fencing, which we might have to electrify from time to time, we have another socket here to save on using those car batteries that go flat every 5 minutes. Had a lovely greeting this morning. Micah, Annie, Floppy Doo was hiding. He appeared when Micah got her breakfast and came and pinched some of it. There's Annie over there. And little rainbow boy is just about to get his steps in for the day on the walker. You have to check out all the smells first, don't you? Ida's at the hay bar already. Is there enough in there, sweetheart? That will keep you going for a while, won't it? We have got another truly beautiful day. These three girlies have come in the round pen. Annie on the left there. Micah on the right. We had a little trip out to Mel's yesterday. It was originally supposed to be Doutzen, but Doutzen was feeling a bit off colour again yesterday. And you remember that time that she laid down in the field and didn't look quite right, and she was coming into season. And I think her seasons bother her a little bit these days. But she spent the night up here, popped her in the stable. Are you going to tell me now that you're still not feeling great? I'm hoping she feels better, because she was doing a lot of the Fleeman's posture yesterday. But she was passing droppings, which is something that we always have to be conscious of with her. Oh, Annie wants to photobomb because Annie wants scratches this morning. You want lots of scratches, don't you? Here we go. We'll take your jumpers off up here, although it is going to go down to -2 tonight, so I think they'll be back on later. So again, I'm just going to keep an eye on Dow for a couple of days, because I did change her feed, so we gave her the linseed mash, but I'm pretty certain it's nothing to do with that. I'm pretty certain it's to do with her season. Maybe she wants us to feel sorry for her and let her back in with Uber. Maybe she's lovesick. Who knows? What do you think, Annie? She says, I don't care as long as you give me neck scratches. We've just come down to take rugs off and give everyone breakfast. Hoitze Jubbers and Prince had the night out. And before I get the chance to take Jubbers' rug off, Hoitze's just using him as a bit of a table. Were you saving that for later, Hoitze?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Look, we've got Jane still here.
Morning.
She's still got a few more days. And then little Smurfy, little Prince.
Hoitze, don't do that to me. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
he's going to dribble on you next.
I can't see you.
There's little Princey. And then up there, we've got Uber and Iceman's rugs off, but Hannes is going to be coming in a minute. So he's still got his on at the moment. It's good when the rugs can come off, isn't it, girls? Sisterly love. Yodel and Shao. Oh, Yodel, it's such a tough life. Do you want to do the other side? Leaky Noodles and Ren are going in because they're going to be doing a little bit of ride and lead today. Hoitze, are you just cleaning out the bowls? You can have another day down here. Oh, little Jubbers is having a roll. And then, as it's -2 tonight, they'll all come in. Well, these three will come in, because it's never good to let a pony that suffers with laminitis have frosty grass, because it's very high in sugars. So I'm expecting this all to be a little white and crispy in the morning. So you can have a night in with your buddy. Hey, Jubbers. But so far his muzzle seems to be working well again. He's not pottery at all. And little Prinsicle, who also got laminitis last year. We obviously need to keep a bit of an eye on him as well. But so far he's looking good too. And you've left a little white patch in the field over there where you've rolled and shed some of that coat. Birds will all love that. And he's having a morning snooze. As a Hida, Doubtson and Micah. Michael alerted us to a carrot thief. It's my own fault because I left the carrots on the back of Arthur, and Micah's quite rightly helping herself. You're drip feeding yourself because they're in their own hay net. I'll get a few out for you, darling, and then I think we should share them around with everybody else. We've got Aiden from Quattro Flooring in today just to do the final measure on the Hoitze Jubbers garden area. And we were just checking it all out, you know, looking at the detail of it all. And then we just had a couple of surprise visitors. Yeah. Look, these two shouldn't be in here, but they decided that they wanted to come and check out the Hoitze Jubbers garden. They saw me come down here with Aiden from Quattro, who's just come to measure it all up. And they're clearly feeling the benefits of spring. But they're going back in disgrace, back up to the yard. You see, Annie doesn't want to go up there now. There we go. So Aiden's just measuring up just to make sure that he's got the right number of pavers to come around and start laying this whole area. Where he stood now, we're going to have a gateway there and fencing round the edges, but it's important that he knows the exact area so that they bring enough of the pavers with them. So we were looking at some of the edges along here because they're obviously not nice straight lines, so they are going to be a little bit challenging for the fitters to get these dog bone pavers right up to the edge of. But we have every faith that they'll do a perfect job. So Aiden, are you happy with the concrete, that they've done a good job in preparing it?
Perfect. Best concrete I've seen this week.
Oh, we won't ask where else you've been.
Nowhere.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Honestly, we won't tell Peter that. So Aiden has very kindly put the fitters back a week because we've got Tony in next week, who's going to be bringing some soil into this area to fill all of this part here. And obviously we didn't want him driving his tractor or digger on top of the pavers. And then the plan is, if the weather is good, the fitting will start week beginning the 24th. It's very exciting, isn't it?
Really exciting.
So we don't know which fitters are coming along, whether it's the same fitters that did the stables.
No, not yet. Don't
No.
know who it's going to be. Which team just yet.
Go on, who is it who likes a challenge the most?
There'll be a good challenge around that edge for any of them really, but probably Martin. We'll get Tush a year.
Yeah.
Tush came last time, was it?
I think he did, yeah. And they did such a fantastic job up at the barn, so I'm very
he likes doing the pavers, but they're going down to Tattersalls next week doing very similar to this.
Okay.
To the rubber pavers.
And then inside the stable there, we're having the 22 mil.
Yeah, 22 mil mat, same as in the stables.
Yep.
Up there.
Wonderful.
Have a measure of these.
Ryan and Toby have finished all the electrics in here now, and I've not seen any of the lights on.
I have.
But you have, so we're going to see them for the first time. So,
Do you want me to turn them
yeah,
on?
go on, you turn them on. Let's see what they look like. Okay, so we have 2 different switches on the outside. Oh, that's a nice soft white. So these are the front, this is the front one and the back one. Oh, lovely. Oh, this is it actually comes across as brighter white on the screen, but it's actually a really nice, soft, warm white. So it gives it a really cozy feel in here. And now let's see that gorgeous solarium that Lindsay and Bessie have sponsored. Let's pop that on. Oh, they are going to be in heaven. Let me see what it looks like with the lights off and just the solarium on. Beautiful. So we just need to get this all painted now, get the rubber matting down, and we're getting there. We've got Tom here today who carved these beautiful names into the stone here. It's a couple of months ago now, isn't it?
It's a while ago, yeah.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
So we've got Anne, Tara, Jamie and Lindsay's names on there. And Tom has come back to look at where you can actually put our names
Yeah.
on.
We're looking at this surface there, this stone. The Alexander family on there. And we've had a discussion about incorporating other things, but I think we've decided that just using that stone is the best option.
But we met many years ago, didn't we? Because I remember you came up here, you asked me whether you could create a sign with our logo, and you did the most beautiful stone sign for us that still sits at the bottom of the driveway. Do you remember doing it?
Yeah, I remember doing it. It must have been the best part of 20 years ago, actually.
It was. You did that sign and the Greenbank Farm sign that
And
we've
the
had sat
Greenbank
down
Farm
there.
sign. I've done over the years. I've done lots of work around Cartmel. I've done signs for Longclume, Cavendish Arms. I did signs above the door of the Pig and Whistle. I've done quite a lot of signs up and down Hags Lane. Uplands, on Hag's Lane. They're quite nice ones that sit on the wall.
It's a real art, isn't it? Do you think it's a dying craft?
Well, we've got machines now. I mean, that for the last, when I lived on Portland in Dorset, which is pretty much the sort of the stone masonry capital of the UK. And I studied architectural masonry and letter cutting. And while I was a student, there was quite a lot of stuff going on in Italy with CNC machines, computer numerical machines, which I have a friend. I've got a friend who's got one, and for some jobs they're incredible. They cut perfect straight lines, right? You can do all kinds of things with them, and you can cut letters with them.
Okay.
The trouble is that they only work with a perfect piece of stone to start with. So they'll cut letters, but if you put anything on a machine that's not perfectly flat, it doesn't understand that. You can't really program it to do that. Also, they do quite a good job of cutting incise letters, machines do. But when it comes to cutting relief cut letters, which is where you, the Greenbank Farm, the sign down there is relief cut, where the letter stays on and the background comes away. Machines can do that, but the basic problem with machines is you can't get machines to come and do things in situ, and everything a machine does by its very nature is going to be so perfect that actually it's really quite boring.
Yeah, it doesn't have character.
There's
We
no
like things with character.
There's no character whatsoever, and I mean I see it all the time where, you know, people have embarked on a big development, you know, and they've managed to incorporate themselves into the development, which is what they want to do. But when it comes to the signage, right, they're pretty much, you know, I mean, around here, the big developments, they usually go to Burlington Slate.
So this is all done by hand, just to clarify for anyone who's viewing.
Yeah.
All of this is done by hand. Now, would you be happy when you come to do this if we videoed it for all of our viewers and did it on maybe a time lapse?
I can live with that.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think
that if you bring me the odd cup of coffee.
Oh, I'm sure we can manage that. Can we manage that tomorrow? Yeah.
An odd cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And,
So we've seen Tom this week to talk about all the stonework and the engraving that he's done. But of course we've got our star and our crown donors as well, who I promised everybody that you were also going to have your names inscribed in the Hoitze Jubbers house. So Tamara came up with a very good idea, didn't you? And I'm going to make you say the word for what it is.
Pyrography. Pyrography.
So go on, are you going to explain to everybody what pyrography is?
So it's inscribing words, and in this case names, onto wood with a very hot pen, and it burns the name into the wood. So where we have a wood that's quite soft, where you can't really chisel words into the wood, pyrography will make a lovely, nice...
It'll make a nice permanent mark,
Yes.
inside the house here. So we were talking about inscribing all our star and crown donors' names into the front of the two main ceiling beams.
Because then it's permanent, it's a permanent record, it's part of the building, like the stones are, and they'll be here forever.
Absolutely. So we'll show you more of that once we've found somebody to do it. But you two are in disgrace. Doubtson and Annie, you've been banished to the round pen after your little escape. But they were quite happy to go down and see Hoitze and Jubbers' house. And possibly one day they'll both live in there. Who knows? But for now, it's Hoitze's home, not yours, Annie. You can go and visit him occasionally if he sends you an invite. So this is how the shippen's looking at the end of the week. Well, I say the shippen, there's not really a lot left of it. My goodness, what a difference. So this is where that stable stood and the rest of the shippen. And it looks like a huge space. Now it's all down. Look at that view. We've got a queue at the hay hole this evening. Annie, Dow and Hidda in their favourite place until all that spring grass starts coming through. But I'm pleased to say Doutson's feeling so much better and hopefully over the worst of her season now. So good night from all of them, good night from me, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful, yeah. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears. Thank you for the moments that we hold dear. Thank you for the love, thank you for the light. I'm grateful